Shouldn't skipping to payday be as easy as skipping to the next song? Introducing MyPay from Chime. Get up to $500 of your pay before payday. Get paid when you save with MyPay. Start at Chime.com. Eligibility requirements apply. Credit limits range from $20 to $500. Provided by the Bancorp Bank N.A. and Stride Bank N.A.
Stop. 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 Had enough? Kick out mucus and quiet the cough with Mucinex 12-Hour DM for long-lasting cough and chest congestion relief. Buy Mucinex 12-Hour DM at your local retailer. Use as directed.
This is Optimal Living Daily, the only resource more precious than time, Part 2, by David Cain of Raptitude.com. And I'm Justin Malik. Welcome to the old podcast, the OLD podcast, Optimal Living Daily, where I read to you like a big ongoing audiobook from many different authors, today being a continuation from yesterday. So I'd recommend listening to yesterday's episode first. But if you're all caught up, let's get right to part 2 and continue optimizing your life. The only resource more precious than time, part 2, by David Cain of Raptitude.com. The biggest thief. It's thoughts that steal the vast majority of our attention. By sending you on aimless tangents and wild goose chases, they pilfer enormous amounts of your potentially priceless attention from your life, bit by bit. Aimless thinking is incredibly pervasive in humankind. I'm not talking about an inefficient hour here or there. I'm talking about years of your life, gone with nothing to show for it. The 50% rate of wasted attention in the previous example is probably very low. Thoughts jump from one to another so rapidly and seamlessly that time just disappears. Perhaps in that hour, your attention was captured by the thoughts you had about your deadline, which led to thoughts about your boss's opinion of you, which led to thoughts about your future at your company, which led you to the worry that you'll get passed up for the next promotion, which led you to a fantasy about working 4 hours a week and making $1 million a year. Then you look up and remember you're supposed to be writing a report. You begin to feel restless and go make coffee. Now it's 17 minutes later and you've done nothing. And that's just a simple example. A real-life wandering train of thought is usually more complex, potentially visiting dozens of topics in a minute or two, each one leaving its own residue of emotion and doubt. In addition to the considerable drain these attention-stealing thoughts place on your time, they can lead to troublesome, negative thoughts about yourself or your situation. They can leave you in a bad mood, further taxing your capacity to be productive. Thoughts are particularly dangerous attention thieves because all thoughts claim to be important, not unlike a teenage drama queen. They scream, "Hey, look at me. I need you to deal with me right now." Be discriminate. You don't open up your wallet every time you see a for sale sign, so be similarly thrifty when it comes to spending your attention. Most thoughts are useless and repetitive and have nothing of value to offer you. So get into the habit of returning your attention to the task at hand rather than attending to thoughts that arise. If the thought reminds you of something you need to do, write it down and continue with your work. When something has your attention, recognize that you are making a purchase. You're spending a finite resource, so make sure you're getting something in return. Most people don't even think about where their attention is. A thought occurs and they jump right on it, either mentally or with their whole body, rushing to do something as soon as they think of it. Don't make impulsive purchases. Know what you're getting. You can spend all the time in the world on something, but if your attention doesn't stay focused on it, that time is never converted into anything useful to you. Leverage. Clever listeners may have realized that other people have this precious resource too, and if you give them a reason, they can give it to you. If you've captured someone else's attention, you can employ it to produce something that is valuable to you or others. The classic example is that of a hired employee. As an employer, you can easily buy someone's time for a flat rate, but only if you're an effective manager can you direct their attention to activities that produce value for you and your clients. If you're ineffective, you're paying for their time, but their attention may be mostly wasted. Very successful people are ones who can leverage the attention of thousands of employees and clients to contribute tremendous value to their company and subsequently give value back in the form of wages for employees and useful products for clients. But your own attention is the only attention you have direct control over, so focus on that first. I'll explore the idea of cultivating the attention of others in a future post. Remember, attention is more valuable than time, and time is more valuable than money. Surely you wouldn't toss around your money like it didn't matter, so keep your eye on where your attention is going. Try this. Frequently ask yourself, where is my attention right now? Where was it before right now? Where's the best place to put my attention right now? I think you'll find that very often it's been captured by something that isn't doing you any good, like an irrelevant train of thought or some other distraction. Attention loss is a serious habit that affects us all, but asking those simple questions begins to steer us in a much more effective direction. You just listened to part 2 of the post titled, "The Only Resource More Precious Than Time" by David Cain of Raptitude.com, and I'll be right back with my commentary. Good taste is easy to spot, but hard to pin down. You know it when you see it. With your car, you want something sophisticated and daring, yet classic, approachable, but with an air of opulence. That's where the Range Rover Evoque comes in. The Range Rover Evoque is charisma in motion, art and craft in equal measure. Its exterior is a quietly bold expression of Range Rover DNA with a floating roof, continuous waistline, and three-dimensional grille that give it a captivating character. Inside, you'll find a calm, minimalist cabin anchored by a tactile gear shifter where clean lines, sumptuous materials, and advanced technology come together. Make a statement in the Range Rover Evoque. This elegant SUV elevates every drive, offering a new dimension of refinement and luxury. Whether you prefer a modern aesthetic or a warmer, authentic appearance, the Evoque's interior can be tailored to your taste. Ready to experience sophisticated design and premium materials in motion? Explore the Range Rover Evoque at LandRoverUSA.com.
Introducing My Pay from Chime, a revolutionary new way to get paid. Let's say new dates to your favorite band's sold-out tour drop Tuesday, but you get paid Friday. Life doesn't wait for payday. With My Pay from Chime, you can get up to $500 of your pay before payday. No interest, no credit check, no mandatory fees. My Pay. Get paid when you say. Start at Chime.com. Eligibility requirements apply. Credit limits range from $20 to $500. $2 fee to get funds instantly. Provided by the Bancorp Bank N.A. and Stride Bank N.A.
Thank you again to David. There's something a little deeper here that I think is worth mentioning. In yesterday's episode, he talked about time and obligation, that we're constantly trying to free up our time, which he argues isn't really free since we use all of it. It seems like everyone is on this hunt for more free time. If only we could win the lottery, then we could have all the free time in the world and be happy, right? I don't think so. I think free time in itself is not at all what we want. It's empty. It's boring. And that might be obvious. It's what we do with that time. We want the freedom to choose. But I think it's an important distinction because having too much free time or downtime can lead to overthinking and self-absorption, which can then lead to many different issues from anxiety to depression and more. The attention that he talks about goes inward too much. And instead, if we're using that free time for good things, like taking care of ourselves, maybe exercising, playing, meditating, spending time with people we enjoy, then it becomes helpful. And note that we're probably not thinking too much and dwelling during those times. We're staying active, keeping our minds on the positive tasks at hand. It's a slightly different take here, but pretty much the same conclusion. So a nice one to think about. I hope it helps you on your journey. And thank you for being here with me on this journey. It means a lot. And if you know someone that might want to go on this journey with us together, please do share the show with them. It's a huge help. Have a great rest of your day and night, and I'll see you tomorrow as usual, where your optimal life awaits.